So traders, today I want to just have a bit of a short-term technical analysis update across the markets. I'm going to be looking at silver, gold, mining stocks, Dow Jones, S&P 500, and we're going to be looking at all that sort of stuff as well too. And then also I want to finish off today with a bit of a bit of a training based on some dark past. I've played this training in the past, but I want to talk about some of my dark past and my dark sort of history that's happened in the past. And I really want to just share that with you, and hopefully that today sort of just helps you out. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. All right. So guys, make sure you join my brand new on-demand training. Secret number one, the number one thing that you must know. My secret number two, my trading system. And anyway, you're going to absolutely love this brand. This is a brand new masterclass training that I'm actually running. So go to johnslivetraining.com. There should be a link in the description. Go join that right now, guys. I promise you, after you watch this, you're going to know exactly where you're going wrong, what you need to do, and a trading system and all that down home country goodness. So anyway, link in the description. Now, let's go and have a look at the Dow Jones. Look at the Dow Jones. Big reversal, right? Big reversal in the markets today. We actually had a lot of people saying down, right? So a big reversal in the markets on the downside. But as you can see, look what actually happened here, right? Big reversal. Nice big update today. We're actually slowly going down, and people are starting to get a bit worried. Isn't it amazing? We spend 1 or 2 or 3 days on the downside and people are like, oh my goodness. Guys, if you've been watching me now for any time, for the last few months, I'm saying this year is an economic and a market explosion, and we're just in the middle of it. So we are low interest rates. We are bomb. You know that bomb? And that's what's underneath these markets right now. And there's more fuel. Just think about this behind these markets, right? Just think about this as an image, right? Just think about, you know how you have a little campfire. You and your buddies are around the little campfire, right? Campfire is 0% interest rates and the massive liquidity that's been pumped in these markets and still going, right? So you've got your little campfire. So well, that's what was happening before behind the markets. Now, the fire is just huge, right? It's not a little campfire. This is just like stacked up with logs, and it's a big, massive mountain, and there's this big, massive bonfire, right? Bonfire. And so that's what's actually happened right now when it comes to the markets. When the government's doing what they're doing right now, and so on and so forth, or what they've done in the past. They've created a bonfire in the past. So they've done that, but guess what they're doing? What they're doing right now as we speak, by doing what they're doing, guess what they're doing? They've gone to get every single gasoline tank they can think about, bring it to the fire, and start to squirt the fire with this gasoline hose. Now, we all know that the gasoline hose it's going to eventually run up the pipes and blow the tank up, which is going to create even more of an explosion. That's what I'm expecting in these markets here. We see the Dow Jones there, just complete reversal on the downside. S&P 500, there we go. A new high for the S&P 500. I have a target of 5,000 for the... again, call me crazy, I know, but I have a 5,000 target on the S&P and the Nasdaq. Guess what? I have a 17,000 target on the Nasdaq by the end of this year. This is the start of one crazy explosion in the markets. One crazy explosion. And as you can see, look at the Nasdaq. Nice little turnaround day today. Nice little S&P. Now, not every single day, guys. We're not going to go up every day. We will get continued, maybe a week like this, and then a month up. And then a week like this, then a month up. And then a week like this, and then a month up. Right? All the way up. But my goodness, guys. Please, all right? Even if you don't do anything with me, right? Or actually, make sure you join that free training, because I'll share with you exactly my number one trading system. If you're looking for an amazing trading system, I'll teach you on that web class, on the brand new web class that I'm running. That webinar web class. Link in the description. Go get access to that, guys. You're gonna love it. Anyway, the thing is this, guys, right? Is that right now that we have in our hands one of the greatest opportunities for the next 6 months Not the next 6 years. Now, by the way, next 6 years, I have that view with miners and metals, because it may even take another 12 months for those things to start to move up. And I'll get to those in a minute. All right, the big picture stuff. But on the flip side, equities. Oh my goodness. There is so much. Interest rates are still going down. Like, what is the 10-year right now? Like the 10-year's been going down ever since, right? The 10-year, it was at 1.7. Now it's gone down to almost 1.3. Like the interest 10-year's going down. The Fed funds rate is still low. They're still, that's the sound of them just putting out the bazookas and throwing trillions of dollars at this market. There is so much money in these markets, guys. And there is going to be so much wealth created. And there's going to be FU money created. That's the, and guys, please listen to me. What I'm doing right now and what I'm sharing with you is what I'm doing. I'm in the SPY. I'm in the QQQ. I'm in some really good high quality stocks, because I'm going to be making by the end of this year FU money. And I want you guys to come along with me. Come along with me. Now, the worst thing, don't go all in on one stock, but spread it around, right? Spread the love around, okay? Like I have positions in the QQQ, the SPY. I have positions in tech stocks right now. A few of the S&P stocks. I even have a few mining stocks in there as well too, or one mining stock, you know? But the thing is, guys, is that spread the love around. Don't just do it all in one go. Even if you want to spread your portfolio after, 10% here or 10% there, 10% here, and spread it around. But guys, oh my goodness, long like Donkey Kong in this market, right? Because there is, again, there wasn't just what the Fed did last year and the government did last year when the good old Trumpy was around. Guess what? They created the bonfire. You're sitting there like, oh my goodness, that is so hot right now. That's what's underneath down. That's what was underneath our markets. Now, what Biden's doing, and by keeping interest rates zero, by doing the purchases, by not tapering, by not doing all that sort of stuff, and to put more money into it. Oh my goodness, guys! Again, they went and got the tankers. They didn't just get the barrels of gasoline. They went and got the tankers of gasoline. Now, right, and they're just full on just bazooking into the bonfire, and that's what they're going to continue doing. And then guess what? Inflation's going to pick up, because we're going to see like inflation's not transitory. Inflation's not transitory. It is not over. It is not over, and we are not done yet. To me, it's just inflation. I'm going a bit of a tangent here. All right, inflation. I'm just so excited about these markets. Inflationary is not transitory. We're probably likely to be starting a super cycle in the commodity market. I won't go into this video here, but I really went detailed even today, talking about with some of my private clients about looking at the commodity prices. We've had one big massive move, and now we're just going flatline. I wonder what's coming next after, and it may flatline for another 6-12 months, and then guess what's likely to happen? Boom! All right, another big, oh my goodness, right? We're likely to see oil. Anyway, so inflation to me is still likely to pick up. We may flatline a little bit, but then we're likely to pick back up. And then, the next leg up, after flatlining for a bit with inflation, the worst is yet to come. We are just getting started. The worst is yet to come. It's coming. And what I mean by that, actually, that's going to be the title of my video. Here we go, right? The worst is yet to come. That way I'll get you guys to click on the video, right? So the worst is yet to come when it comes to that sort of stuff. And what I mean by that is that the first leg up in any real big move up is quite low, right? You get this in a lot of stocks. You even got this you get this in a lot of stocks, right? You get the market moving up like this, and then the market does that. But the second leg does something like that, right? We get a much bigger explosion on the second leg up after the market does this, and then we flatline. So that's what you want to keep. That's what you want to keep an eye for. Inflation over the next maybe 2 or 3 or 4 numbers may be like this right here, just flatline. But as soon as we start to pick back up again through here, guess what, guys? The second leg is going to be much greater than the first leg, and that's when we're going to start to see as this thing starts to pick up through here, we're going to see what they happened back in the 70s, which is we're temporarily putting prices on asset prices or on goods and service prices. They're probably going to start to try to raise it, or they're going to have to raise the interest rates through here, or doing whatever they can when it comes to the inflation. Now that's just what I believe. Let me leave a comment below, guys, and let me know what you think in the chat box below, because I'd love to hear your feedback. What do you think about inflation? Do you think the inflation is doing this and then we're going to go back down to here? Or do you see this happening, which is actually happening in the commodity prices right now? Actually, if we look at the commodity prices, let's have a look at this here, right? Commodity prices. Look at the commodity prices. Soybeans, even corn. Look at corn. What are they doing? They're just going sideways, right? After one big massive move up, they're just going sideways. So they're having the resting period. I wonder what's coming next when it comes to, the inflationary data and the data and all that sort of stuff. And so that's what I see what's happening through there. So anyway, guys, the purpose of me saying all this is that this is one great, the bubble that we are in the middle of right now and is likely to continue, is one of the greatest opportunities for you guys to do really well. But be smart about your positions as well too, right? Don't just jump in anything. Look for really good opportunities. And that's what I've been doing, guys, for this whole year. I've been building a portfolio, and you guys, and I've been mentioning some of the stocks over the last few months. Heck, even the last week I've been talking about some of the stocks that's in my portfolio that I'm buying at good times. I'm not just buying anything, because no, you don't buy something when it's already made a massive move. You buy some good opportunities. And there's just one crazy move that's, to me, and we're in the middle of it now. Yes, the end is coming. The end is coming, and when that happens, it may be at the end of this year, maybe even at the start of next year. Heck, it may be even through the next couple of years, and then at the end of next year, who knows, right? But from now through to the next 6 months, I am 100% bullish on these markets. Obviously, we're going to see our pullbacks and whipsaws and all that sort of stuff in the markets. But this is equities, guys, and stocks, okay? That's over the next 6 months. Heck, even the mining stocks. We're looking at the mining stocks right now, guys. You can see, let's actually just bring up the good old chart with no moving average. Let's look at the mining stocks. Mining stocks had like a bit of a double bottom in the mining stocks right now. Bit of a double bottom. Let's actually see if that holds. We still have a bit of a gap up here on the GDXJ. Maybe even out through to the GDX. Again, bit of a double bottom formation. Dibber bottom, right? Bit of a dibber bottom when it comes to that there. So let's actually see if this gap is going to get filled. I do see that gap getting filled. And let's actually see if that happens next week. SILJ, same sort of thing. Bit of a dibber bottom, right? Dibber bottom. But I definitely do see a bit of a turning point coming real soon out of these markets. I'm definitely getting those. That's sort of there. So it wouldn't surprise me, guys, that we start to see another move up soon. And then we come and close that gap there. And obviously looking at gold as well too. Look at gold. Gold's just been doing absolutely nothing. What we want to see out of gold is we want to see something like this. We want to see a good strong breakup. If that happens, we're likely to do that. And if that happens, this here is going to be one significant higher low. And then this here would be the start of a race to 3,000 in my opinion, should I say, in my opinion. And move over now through to silver. Look at silver. Silver's just doing nothing, right? We want silver to hold here. We want silver to start to break up. Silver on the big picture. Silver on the bigger picture, right? Look at the big picture on silver. Oh my goodness, we're still squeezing up. We want silver to hold and continue to, if we can hold here and then start to break above 28, guys, we're getting ready for one crazy explosion. One crazy move. And where's the next resistance though? Was that move up there? Yeah. So if I look at my daily charts, if we can start to break above there, then I have a target. Once we start to break above here, guys, or if we can, we're going to make sure if we do get above here, once we get back above 28, then my level is all the way up there at 35. So that's where I see silver going. So silver's, we could be getting ready for a massive move in silver and the mining stocks as well too. Like it may be happening now. I'm in them. Whether it happens now or 6 months, I'm very, very confident it's going to happen. Timing, big question mark. I don't know. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys, across the markets. Guys, the worst is yet to come And to me, this is just the start of something major. This is the start of something major in the market. And when it comes to one, inflation, two, also just one of the craziest vertical bonfire moves we've ever seen. And you can be butt hurt about it, or you can learn how to trade. Again, a bit of a plug here, but go just learn my trading system, guys. You're gonna absolutely love it. Link in the description, johnslivetrade.com. Just go learn it. And the thing is that when we're looking at something like this here, I just see that that something big is about to hit the markets, and that is more inflation coming after maybe a bit of a flatlining. But on the next 6 months, guys, to me, stock market, Nasdaq, especially tech stocks, to me, are just getting started for one crazy move. So I hope that helps you out today, guys. Once again, make sure you go to johnslivetraining.com and to actually make sure you learn the number one secret that all success. This is the one thing that took me from actually losing money to making money. If you're losing money, secret number one's for you. Secret number two for you is actually my trading system, works on any market. And then also secret number three is how to find these amazing trades as well. So make sure you go to johnslivetraining.com. Guys, I'm also right now, I'm gonna play a training that I did not that long ago, or should I say a little thing. I did this little recording not that long ago, and it actually talks a little bit about my dark past and what actually happened to me personally, and why I'm very ashamed to share this with you, but I think I need to be honest with you, come clean with you, and share this with you. And I hope that this little audio bit here of where I got started 16 years ago, and how I got started and what ended up happening when I got started, and some really just the dark story and the dark past and the truth about when I got started. And I hope this helps you out today, guys. Anyway, guys, hope this helps you out, and I'll speak to you real soon. Alrighty, traders, so I want to finish off today with a bit of a story, and hopefully this story of me losing 50% of my account in one night. Hopefully my story here resonates with you and gives you a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel if you are going through a hard time with your trading right now. And so I want to share this story with you because it was one of the most lowest points in my trading career that I ever got to. I just lost $250,000 in the markets. I lost my house. I lost my car. I had to move back with my mother and father-in-law. And I literally I was on the verge of bankruptcy, right? Because I actually borrowed a lot of money from as well too. So a lot of that $250,000 I actually borrowed. And so what happened was, I moved back with my mother and father-in-law. Now, this is going back probably 14 years ago now, when this happened. I've been trading for the markets for 16 years. And the thing that happened is that there was a period of time there where I was trading really well when I first started. Now, was beginner's luck, or I don't know. But I'm just like, oh my goodness, I know I can do this. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. I know I can trade really well. I just know I can. And I just said, I just need to get some more money, right? And so I talked to my father-in-law, and I said, I just need to get started somehow. And so he lent me $5,000. So he lent me $5,000 to actually start trading the markets with. And here I am thinking, man, I don't even know how I'm going to pay my bills. My first son is just coming now. My first son's just coming along the way right now. He's, like, how am I even going to afford to actually move me and my wife out? Because it was actually she was my wife at the time, and I'm just thinking, man, here I am. I'm supposed to be the man of the house. We just lost everything. I got a son along the way. I just, oh my goodness, And now, like, in 9 months, I've got to figure this shit out, because it's like, I have a wife and now a son along the way who's going to depend on me. And I'm thinking, damn. And so I borrowed $5,000 from my father-in-law, and then I started trading all night. And so all night for me was trading the E-mini S&P 500 on real short-term charts. 1 minute charts, 5 minute charts, and even all the way down to tick charts. If you've ever traded tick charts before, guys, what they call transaction charts. So it's not based on time. A 1 minute chart, every single bar is painted based on a bar. But a transaction chart, so I was always trading roughly, I think it was a 49 transaction chart. Don't know why 49, but it was just 49. So that means every time 49 transactions went through, so one transaction could be 100 contracts, next transaction could be 2 contracts. But as long as there was 49 transactions gone through, that would paint the bar, and then the next bar would start. Imagine those charts, guys, with like FOMC, right? Those charts just go nuts because there's like 2,000 transactions go like really quickly, and suddenly you see just a massive pane of bars. It's quite a sight to see. So anyway, I started trading all night again, and I just went back to what I knew and started trading, and I was just like, man, I've got to make this work. And that was a big mistake, right? It's like, I've got to start making money now. Oh my goodness. I have a son along the way, and my wife depends on me. Oh my goodness, I've got to pay that money back. Some of that money back that I actually borrowed. And because I was putting so much pressure on myself, guess what? I started just taking anything I just thought that was going to be a good trade. It's like, oh, this looks like it's a good trade, and then, which is a big mistake, right? It's just looking back now, it was one of the worst mistakes I did, because I'm just like, I've got to get in, and by me rushing it and forcing it, and just like, oh well, this looks like it's going to go up, I've got to get in now. And then I started rationing and reasoning of what, like, oh well, even if I just risk, $100 out of this, that's okay. If I just risk $100, and then the $100 turns into a $200 or $300 loss, and then I try to like, well, if I can just get back to break even, and then I have another loss, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, and like, and then suddenly I doubled up on my risk. I'm like, oh my goodness, now I'm actually $1,000 in the hole out of my $5,000 trading account. Man, if I can just get back to break even, if I double up and I just get if I can just get a small profit at this one, I'm going to be back to break even, and then that'll be a losing trade as well too. Meanwhile, I wasn't focusing on any system or any plan. I was just getting in because it just looked like a good idea. And I was all over the place. And I remember, because I stayed up all night trading the futures markets, E-mini, S&P, and even like, I think that even like the European markets and stuff like that as well too. Nasdaq, those sort of things. And I remember the sun come up, and I'd been up all night trading the markets. And again, guys, this is when I first started. I had no idea what I was doing. And I remember looking at my account thinking, oh my goodness, I just blew 50% of my account up. And I actually went to bed just in tears. And my ex-wife's like, oh yeah, she's my ex-wife now, but my wife at the time, she was just like, what happened? I'm just like, oh, nothing, it's okay. And she started talking to me, and I'm just like, I just blew up 50% of my account. And she's like, okay. And she's like, she's like, you can do it, you can do it though. And I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate your support there. But I remember her getting up to go into work. I think she was working like at Red Rooster or something like that, for a managing job. And I remember just going to bed that morning and just absolutely just in tears and thinking, I really, really, really need to get this thing going. I really need to get this thing working. And I was just like, because all I was seeing was a failed husband. Am I going to be a failed father as well, since my son's coming on the way? And then I look at my wife at the time, and we're in a spare bedroom on an old mattress on the floor. That's what we slept in. We actually slept in an old mattress on the floor. There wasn't even a bed for us. It was like, there's a mattress, you can stay there. It was like, oh my goodness, I got to really, 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 really figure this thing out. I'm just like, I want this so bad. And I've gone from losing all this money, $250,000 in hole, to then just borrowing money and blowing up 50% of the account. I'm thinking, I gotta figure this thing out. And that's been unfortunate. That's at the time I thought, you know what, I just don't want to do this anymore. Like, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I just can't do this. And so it was at that time, guys, that I was very fortunate that I got access to via my broker. He said, listen, there's this guy, he's a private trader. He's a really, really good trader, makes millions of dollars a year. I'll give you his email. You should shoot him an email and see if he can help you out. And that was actually the turning point for me, because I showed him the email, and then we went back onto forwards. He didn't respond to me the first time, but I kept sort of pestering him, and then something he started helping me out with what I was doing, and focusing on what he was done, because he blew up his account as well too. He lost $500,000, which is pretty much all he had in one night, trading the markets. So he was just like, John, you lost $250,000. Okay, cool. You know what? I did that as well too, but here I am now, and I'm making between $5 and $10 million a year. He said, so you can come back from this. He said, let me just show you what you need to do. And, and obviously the big thing that I was doing was that I was all over the place. There was no rhyme or reasons of why I was getting into something, or no proven plan behind me. Because he said, John, he said, if you've got a really good trading system with a good win-loss ratio, but you stick to it 100% of the time, you could take a $5,000 trading account and grow that. He said, but you could take $1 million trading account and you'd just be all over the place like a lunatic, and just taking anything and everything, not because it meets a plan or meets a system, but you'll blow that up. He said, I've done that before. He said, so welcome to the club. If you really want this is now your test. How bad do you want this? And he said, if you really want this, then I can start to help you get back on track, but it's going to take you some time. And so basically what he did, he started sharing me the way that he views the market, the way he trades the market. And what I realized is that he was no smarter than me. And what I realized was that the only difference between him and I is that he was very disciplined at following a plan, and he wouldn't do anything. He'd be happy sitting there for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks and not do anything until a trade came up. Here I was thinking I needed to make money every week because I had rent to pay. It was the wrong thing to do. That's not how trading works. If I want to be part of this world called trading, I must understand the laws of trading, and that simply says you don't trade when you want. You trade when you trade when everything's when the plans are met. So that means if your plan, a pattern that you're trading doesn't appear for 4 weeks or 5 weeks or even 2 months, then you simply don't trade. That's your job is to wait until you have to. Discipline, consistency, and patience, or consistency, discipline, and patience. The patience being the big one. And he said, John, they're the things you need to work on. He said, it's not the market that's getting you, it's you that's getting you. He said, but if you really want to be part of this world called the markets, then you must start to focus on those consistency. He said, well, you got the consistency part, right? You're showing up every day, which is good. He said, but more the discipline and patience part. Discipline to just focusing on just one pattern, one system that you believe in. And then patience, just your job is not to do anything until you set a pattern. I don't care how long you have to wait. Your job is not to do anything. And it was hard changing that, right? Because I went from just trading all over the place to then just trading, to then start trading, not taking any trades. And some weeks there'll be no trades, and some weeks there'll be heaps of trades, 2 or 3 trades. And then some weeks I might have a trade every single day, and then I might go 2 weeks without a trade. And this was even trading intraday charts, 1-minute charts, 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, right? Watching them, spending 10, 12 hours a day trading it. But once I started to realize that, oh my goodness, this plan I'm trading works most of the time, and it's got nothing to do with the trading system, right? It's got everything to do with how well I'm actually sticking to it. And that's the biggest thing that I had learned, that people that do well out of trading, it's not because they're smart, they've just got the emotional control. They're not doing anything and understand the game of trading. And that is that my job is to wait. I'm actually paid to wait. I wait until I get that really good setup. And if I can do that throughout this year, not only am I going to crush it, but I'm going to do it so well out of it. And that's how my mentor went from like blowing up $500,000 in one night, wiping himself out, to now making that per month plus, right? $500,000 to $1 million per month, easy. Per month. But that's taken him roughly, from the time he did that, he's been trading for 25 years. The time he did that, it's taken him roughly 15 years to get from a $5,000 trading account to now making that much. But it's taken time, but because he stuck at it, and because he stuck at the system, that's when things started well. And that's when everything started to turn around for me, and I started to do really, really, really well from trading, because I realized that, okay, if I want to do this thing called trading, I must start to abide by the laws. If I want to become good at this thing, right? If I want to become this thing called trading, I have to start to be a good trader. And if I'm not a good trader, I may get lucky every now and then to make money, but I'm not going to be long-term successful. And that's what my mentor always said to me. And I always say to my private clients, I don't care if you make $1 million in one trade. All I care about is what can you do, what can you do repeatedly for the rest of your life so you can feed your family and never have to worry about money again. That's what I'm all about. And that's words from my mentor. I don't care what you can do right now, John. You know, you break the rules and you make a lot of money, then that's actually not good. All I care about is what can you do for the rest of your life so you can never have to worry about money ever again. And that's when it started to click for me. You know, and then I went from like, you know, not only losing money, but I'm making money. And then before you know it, like that story about when I was with my mother and father-in-law, 9 months later, I actually paid all my mother and father-in-law back for all the rent that I actually owed them. We moved out, and things started picking up from there. And I went, you know, and then I started doing like within a few years of doing that. After starting there, I started doing like 30,000 a month, and then went to like 80,000 in a few months there, and over 100 grand, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? $1 million, whatever. But it all started, but then that what I just said there, guys, was many years ahead, right? Many years timeline from starting to then growing and growing and growing. And the big thing is that, and that's where I am right now, is that as long as I just wait for my pattern and the system that I trade, that I know that most of the time I'm going to make a profit, and sometimes I'm going to make a loss, and that's just the way it is. But most of the time I'm going to make a profit, and when that happens, I know that I know by the end of this year I'm going to be up. But I do know that I have two choices here. One, I can start to be consistent amongst the system that I'm trading. Any system out there, it's not the system. It's more me being consistent in that system. Or I don't. If I don't, I may be okay. I may make money every now and then. But long term, I'm not going to continue losing money. Because I just lost $250,000 from doing that shit. Then I lost 50% of my trading account from doing that. And then as things started to pick up and I had my mentor there, things started to turn around. And so I hope this story really helps you out, guys. If you are in the midst of going through a tough time, that there is light in the tunnel. But it does come back down to, like, if you want to be part of this world called trading, we must understand what goes into a trader. And all it comes down to is find something in the markets, a pattern. If you're a trader, find a pattern that you believe in, and then wait for that only. And then when you do take the trades, some of them are going to be losses. Most will be profits, or depending on your system anyway. And then rinse, recycle, repeat. And if you take 20 of those trades, you might have 4 losses, 16 wins, and at the end of the day, you make money. And if you can do that, just find one thing that you believe in and wait for that, then you can start to really, really, really kick ass and take names. And that's when everything started to turn around for me, guys, because I don't trade a lot. I'm not a very active trader. I don't trade a lot because I just wait for my system. Sometimes I don't trade for a whole month. That's okay. Guess what? Because if I do trade, I'm not going to be losing money. And then when the good trades do come up, guess what? I'm taking them and things are doing really, really well. So I really hope this helps you out today, guys. If you are going through a hard time, I hope this story really resonates with you. And I hope this gives you a bit of confidence that if you are going through a hard time, that you can do it. We just need to start to abide by the rules. And that is, find something that you're consistent at. You can do really, really, really well at trading. You just got to find something. There is no perfect system that's going to make you money every time. But if we understand the laws of being a good trader, that is, find a pattern that you believe in that has a good win-loss ratio and wait for that only. Every time you take it, you know, some are going to be losses, most are going to be profits. If you can do that for the whole year, that's how trading is really done, and that's how you can do really, really well from trading.